Ever wonder what to be doing to market your business? Like, what is the right steps I should be taking to actually build my business, build my brand, build the mind share, and, well, get people to pay attention to who I am? We got the steps for you right here. If you like this video, go ahead and click like, subscribe to this channel. We've got a lot more videos for you to help you build your business. Let's get started with this one. All right, how do we go ahead and market our business? A lot of times we think money is the solution to complacency, but let me tell you, no, it's not. It's not just about throwing money at the wall. In fact, how much money do you have to spend anyways? And this is one of the first steps we need to come up with, is setting a marketing budget. See, understanding how much money do I really have to spend? Now, if you want to figure this out, here's step one for you. Setting that marketing budget, go through and figure out what your expenses are. And I'm talking all of your expenses in a month, everything that you got to pay for. Figure out what your income is. So how much money are you bringing in and how much money are you putting out? Once you understand your income and your expenses, now we can figure out how much money do we have left over. Then we want to do a gut check. Okay. So if I said to you, how much money do you have left over for marketing? Well, I'm going to ask you right now. We're going to do this together. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to feel right here the minute that you decide, ooh, that's too much. Let's do this as an example. Can you spend $100 a month on marketing? If you said yeah, perfect. Can you spend $200 a month on marketing? If you said yeah, can you spend $400 a month on marketing? Now, if at any point you were like, whoa, that's a lot of money, okay, then we go backwards a little bit. Stay with me and I'll explain what I mean by that, okay? Because what somebody else can spend versus what you could spend, don't compare yourself. Wherever you are, you are. We can work with what you've got and we can always work to build. But to go and blow the bank and spend all sorts of money that we don't have and really sit there stressing for the next few months going, oh my God, if I don't get the ROI, I'm going to be broke. That's not the way we want to implement a marketing budget. Okay. We need enough money to make this thing last for at least the next 12 months. So check this. So can you spend $400 a month? And you're like, yeah. Could you spend $800 a month? And all of a sudden it's like, ooh, and there's that feeling, that's a lot of money. Okay, could you do 7? Okay, could you do 6? Yeah, I think I could do 6. Okay, your number's 5. See, at 8, you stopped right away. At 7, you weren't really there. At 6, I could tell you were pushing it. So we went to 5. See, because at 500, if I ask you, could you do 500? You're like, yeah, I could do 5. Could you do 500 for the next month? Yeah. Could you do 500 the month after that? Yeah. Let's fast forward 12 months. You spent $500 a month for the entire year, $6,000 this year. Could you afford to spend that? And if your answer is yeah, well, the next question is, what if you didn't make a penny on that money? Could you still afford to spend it? Now, if your answer is no, then we should change the budget. If your answer is yes, then we've set a marketing budget. You see, there's the key. We need to know how much money we have available to us in order to be able to invest in our marketing strategy. And it can't just be for the next 30, 60, or 90 days. We need to have a long-term strategy here because things are going to take time to build. So step one in creating a proper marketing plan is to actually set a marketing budget. The next thing we need to understand, step number 2, we've only got 2 audiences. We got the people we know and we got the people we don't know. We do know that 70 to 90% of our business will often come from the people that we know. So we really want to focus on that group primarily. That's the lowest hanging fruit. That's where we really want to put most of our efforts in, at least to start. Now, much the same, if 70 to 90% of our business come from group number 1 and only 10 to 30% of our business come from group number 2, then wouldn't it make sense to spend 70 to 90% of our marketing budget on group number 1, at least to start? Lowest hanging fruit, highest ROI, it'll return the dollars the quickest for us. Once we get the dollars, we can start to look at the marketing budget and say, hey, can we up the budget? Can we go talk to more people we don't know? Do we have enough money there to sustain us for the long term to be able to not only generate the new opportunity, but to follow up with it and then convert it and then turn it into a long-term client? So again, we need to understand 2 audiences, group number 1, group number 2, people we know, people we don't know. Again, group number 1 is the place you want to start with. The next thing to note, there are only 7 ways to communicate with another person. 7. In person, by phone, text message, direct mail, email, social media, and your website. We want to leverage all 7. So again, understanding that we've only got so much money to spend, understanding that group number 1 is our target audience, and now we need to understand that we should be leveraging all 7 ways to communicate because, again, we don't know where people are looking, when they're looking, or why they're looking. But we know that if we're in a bunch of those different channels, they're probably going to see us. Now that we've got our marketing budget, we know who our target audience is. Now it's a matter of creating that marketing plan. Going back to those 7 ways to communicate and saying, how often, what frequency am I going to implement each one of those channels? See, I want to make sure that I've got a consistent strategy. So when I'm out there on a regular basis, whether I'm with you in person or I'm not anywhere near you, if you're scrolling social media, you're going to see me. If you're checking your email, you're going to see me. If you're checking your mailbox, you're going to see me. If maybe we're out and about, you might see me. Every once in a while, I'm going to call you or text you. And if you go to my website when I don't know about it, you'll also see me. So we want to make sure that we've got a proper marketing plan in place. We're really looking through at both audiences, group 1 and group 2, and asking ourselves, what am I doing to get in touch with people? Now, let's look at that for a little bit deeper for a moment here, right? We've got 7 ways to communicate. So if I said phone calls, well, to the people we know, it's warm calls. To the people we don't know, it's cold calls. When we look at email, so you can't really email people you don't know because you haven't got their email addresses. When we look at getting together with people, well, again, you can get together with people you do know. You can get together with people you don't know. And there's 2 different ways to do that. So understand, we take the 7 ways to communicate. And as we're thinking about our marketing strategy, how do each of those ways apply to the people I know? And how do they apply to the people I don't know? The 5th step here, always, always, always feed your database. Okay. Make sure that at all times you're always thinking about, how can I add one more person to my database today? Think about this. If you had just one person a day, that's 365 new people per year. Think about the opportunities. And when I tell you that your list should be somewhere between 200 and 700 people, well, hey, one new person a day, 365 new people a year, you're doing amazing just off of year 1. And that's on top of the contact list that you've already built. Step 7 here, track the source of every single one of your deals. So as we talk about building out a marketing plan, setting a marketing budget, using the different channels, talking to the right audiences, being consistent, track every single one of your deals. Track the source of where they came from. See, over time, the more we track that, the more we're able to measure that, the more we're able to know what's working and what's not. Where should I be spending my marketing dollars? Should I continue to spend in that channel? Should I spend more in that channel? Should I completely stop with that channel because it's not working for me? By tracking the source of every single one of our deals, we're going to be able to have a marketing plan and a budget that is going to be right on target to help us, well, achieve a lot more. Final step here, step number 8, review your marketing plan every single quarter. Oftentimes, people don't even set a marketing plan. They don't even set a marketing budget. That's what most people do. They don't do any of that stuff. Instead, here, we just talked about how to create a marketing plan for your business, how to come up with a budget, and all the steps in between that. Now what we want to do is we want to review it every quarter. See, I already told you off the top, it's going to take longer than just 30 days. In fact, you're going to have to give some of these things 12 months and even more to see if they really have any impact on your business. But what we can do is, because we're tracking the source of every single deal, we can start to look at that over the, every quarter. And typically speaking, what I would do is I would look at the 3rd month of the quarter, the 3rd week in that month, and that's where we begin to review. Gives us an entire week to adjust what we may need to for the next quarter. Again, if most people aren't reviewing any of this stuff, they're not tracking any of it, but here we are reviewing every single quarter, well, it's going to be very difficult for them to keep up with us. And we're going to have a marketing plan that is going to build a lot of mind share so that we get a lot of market share. So there's your 8 steps to come up with a marketing plan that is going to help you drive a lot more business. Follow each one of those steps. If you have comments, throw them in the comments below this video. If you've got questions, DM me anytime. Go ahead and click like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot more where this came from. And remember, get out there and build that mind share.